Thank you. Okay. Do we see it? for chemical characteristics. The range of mobility. I'm sorry, do you guys hear the echo?
Yes, so there is.
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like I also have an echo. I don't know.
I can't.
Oh, you can't? I mean, the
No.
PPT?
I will explain later, but I can't.
Oh, okay, okay.
Sorry. But can you guys see it?
Yeah, we can see it. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so numerical, let me continue to the mobile static. Talking about mobile static, I have I think an interesting example. I was working for a warehouse, warehouse where we have a lot of containers, pallets, packages, all kind of different size. And in the warehouse, they have some kind of special labels because normally when we print something on the paper, we use that paper inside our house. But for the warehouse, they have to slap the labels onto the containers or pallet or package, and many of them are in the outside. Not they don't have any problem. So these labels, they have to use some kind of special material, and with that special material, they have some kind of special printer, and one of those printers has the name Zebra printer. Zebra is a very big name in the printer industry. And this printer, I remember, is very heavy. I think it's about like 20 pounds something. It's big. So by design, it must be static. But for this particular warehouse, it is big. And the printer, it is very expensive. So the managers over there say, okay, we can afford only to get like 3 of them, but we need to be able to move them around. So finally, they built a cart, and they put the printer onto a cart and with another UPS. And they plug the printer into a UPS, and they just move it around the warehouse. And they bring the labels, and they slap the labels onto the containers where they want. So in this particular example, this thing is very heavy, and it is designed to be static, but finally it used in a mobile mode. Okay, so it is very relative, I think. Okay, another classification we talk about is the reporting frequency. The reporting frequency is how often the object, the things, report the parameters that are monitored. Yes.
Sorry to bother you, but can you just make it
bigger?
Yeah, I mean the thing. Okay. Oh, you are using the slide which is over there. So can you just go to the slide slow side? I mean, can you go to the slideshow?
I cannot on my PC.
Oh no, that's fine. No, I mean, can you see the?
Too small or what?
No, I mean, can you just check this? The menu.
Yeah, I know what you mentioned, but this PC is weird.
No, I mean you can do it from your web portal. That's what I'm saying. So can you go to the tab which is next to animation in your screen? Can you get me the control?
Sure.
Yeah, so here, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, sorry to bother you, but I mean, this looks, yeah.
Okay, so we talk about the reporting frequency. This is we talk about how often the spark objects, the things, to send the data, like every day, once a day, or once an hour, or it depends on whether they have data or not. So there are something like the if we have the humidity sensor, normally it can send only 1 or twice a day. But if we talk about the, in a truck, they have a very special sensor system that they can send back all of the information about the oil, about the engine running or not, and all the other conditions. And it can send like hundreds of the parameters. And depending on the law for the government, they may have to send like every half an hour or 1 hour. So that's the difference about the reporting frequency. And the simple or rich data, is about how much data to be sent back. Some devices have very small data to send back, and some devices have a lot of data to send back, just like the example we just talked about on the truck engine. And it sent a lot of data back. And the next classification is about the report range. This is very important because the range of communication will affect the it will affect the energy from the battery it consumes. So if this one it uses battery and it want to send for a long range, it will be difficult. But if it is the power connected device, so it's not a problem. And the last classification about the object density per cell. This is talking about, in the next part, we will talk about the gateway, where it receives data from the things and send back to the data center. And normally the gateway, how many devices it will talk to, like 10 or just one? See, this is about the object density per cell. Okay. So we talk about the first layer of things. The second layer is the communication network layer. In this part, we have 3 different sub-layers. The first one is the access network layer, sub-layer. Let me go to. So in this case, we have all kind of different size of network, from we got the pan or the hand with the explanation right below here. And you can see the range maybe very small, from like a few feet to a few kilometers, or up to 100 kilometers, and it gives different frequency, different protocol, and different spec. Sorry, I don't know how to go back. Let me. Okay. And then one more. Okay. Sorry. Okay, here we go. I'm very sorry. Professor, can I go this way? I am not very well controlling the PowerPoint, so.
Yeah, I mean, you can go. Can you read from current slide? Can you read from current slide?
For me?
Yeah.
For me, yes, I can read it very clearly.
No. I mean, can you read? Can you read its written current slide? Give me a request. I'll show you. Yeah. So basically, what happens here? Like, you need to go to the slideshow, and you have to click from current slide. So that will start the presentation. When you want to stop them, you just just click the escape, or you can can you see this one? And say, this all you can do that one. So basically, you can do the escape, or you can do whatever you want. But the thing is, like, this is the way you can do the presentation. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Professor.
Okay, no problem.
Well, in addition to that, if you want to move to the next page, just press your pointer or cursor, maybe the forward and backward, up, down, to take you to the next page.
Okay, let me try.
on your keyboard, yes.
Thank you. Okay, the second sub-layer from the gateways and the backhaul is some kind of weird terms, but it's very simple. We talk about the we need to send data from the sensors, the smart things, the objects, back to the processing center. But normally the processing center will be far, far away from the things. So normally we will have some kind of gateway that stay in between the things and the data center, and we call that the gateways. And the medium that transfer data from the smart objects to the gateways, we call the backhaul. That's just a term. And the next transport, and the next sub-layer is a network transport sub-layer. We talked earlier about the things they may or may not use the TCP/IP protocol. Not all of them, but most of them will use TCP/IP. And the reason is because TCP/IP is very common everywhere, and most of the network now they use the TCP/IP. So many of the smart objects, they try to use the existing protocol so they can get back to the network quickly, so that the designer, they don't have to design a lot of other new things. So the first protocol that the smart object designer, they often use, they use HTTP. We know, everybody know HTTP, and we can design the data over the HTTP very quickly. We just we can open Notepad, and we just use text to type in something, so we can have a simple web page. And that's why HTTP used first in the network transport sub-layer. The problem with HTTP is that they often call the HTTP is a fat protocol. Fat in the meaning that in order to be able to do something simple, they have to use a lot of data to go along with it. So it consumes a lot of bandwidth, which is may be very valuable to these smart things. So instead of using HTTP, some designer, they use a WebSocket. WebSocket is the part of the HTML5. It is very similar to HTTP, but it is redesigned so that it's not a fat. Means it doesn't have a lot of headers. It doesn't have a lot of required tags to put in to work. So it uses less data. And another one called the COAP protocol. The COAP protocol is a special one, and it is designed to use much less data. And it is designed by IBM long time ago when they want to send data from the oil rig back into the data center via satellite. And at the time, satellite is very expensive, so they can design the protocol that the header has only 2 bytes. If we compare that header with HTTP, that may goes up to like 1 kilobyte, and so it is useful. COAP is very common now. Okay, next part. Oh, there's one note I want to talk about, because I remember about 2 weeks ago, our class, we have our classmate talk about the autonomous car. And in the autonomous car, there is an example of we use the Internet of Things that the sensors on the car, it connect with the gateway, but the gateway in this case is installed on the car also. So in this particular case, the gateway is static to the sensors. It's a special case, and both of them are moving when the cars are moving. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that when I hear about the autonomous car, so I just want to mention it here. Okay, and the last layer I want to talk about the layer 3, the applications and the analytics layer. I'm sorry, it should be the control, the control layer, control application, and the analytics application. The analytics application is the layer that normally it will connect to all the things to get the data from all the smart things at the same time during a time interval, maybe like short time, maybe an hour, maybe a day. But at the end, it displays the information about the history of the data of all these things, so we can see the whole picture of the whole system. That's why we call it analytics. And for the control application, it's much simpler. It will check the current data of the device, and it will decide what to do. So like if we want to control the temperature of the room or device, and when you get the temperature back from the temperature sensor, if it lowers some threshold, we will send the control signal to the sensor to request it to increase the temperature of the system. So, and most of the application now, they include both the analytics and the control together. Oh, now I'm very happy to delegate the speech to Tochi, so he can talk about the Bluetooth and the Bluetooth low energy. Tochi?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you everyone for giving us the opportunity to share what we have researched over the past few weeks on this. I'll be speaking on Bluetooth protocol and the RFD a little bit, but my most major talk will be based on the Bluetooth protocol. So Bluetooth, as we know, is a standard wire replacement communication protocol. It's primarily designed for low power consumption and short communication range. So the transmission range is power dependent. So the device has to be powered before it could, the protocol or its work or for the Bluetooth to be used to transmit data from point to point. The specifications were formalized by the Bluetooth Special Interest Group, called the SIG, which was formally established by Ericsson, IBM, Intel, Toshiba, and Nokia. That was in 1998. Those of us who were around there, when Bluetooth came, it was like something out of this world. But today, it's becoming, it has advanced. By 2009, Bluetooth 3.0 was introduced. It was supporting a data rate of 25 megabits, which is a transmission range of about 10 meters. While the latest Bluetooth that was introduced, 5.0, introduced in 2016, has a data rate and transfer range which has increased to 50 megabytes at about 240 M. On top of this, Bluetooth is it depends on the physical layer, the link layer services, which includes most of the medium access, connectivity establishment, error control, and flow control that are provided. These are how it performs its function, and it has other specifications. Bluetooth core specification version is 4.0, known as Bluetooth Smart. It was adopted in 2010. So this includes the classic Bluetooth. It also includes the Bluetooth high speed and the Bluetooth low energy protocols. From the diagram you see on the screen, I just want to give a little bit of what that diagram, that protocol stack, what it's showing. So it is showing the core specification that was designed by the Bluetooth strategic working group. So it is designed to allow both data and voice wireless transmission at an actual speed of up to 72 kilobytes and 3 simultaneous voice channels. This core specification, I think they divide and are being implemented in such a way in the protocol in a series of usage profiles. And this implementation may take a complete formula and additional features like updates. It can target desktop computer run on OS. such as any OS that you know. And the device can also be used as an embedded system, such as it's exposed as an entry point for, like, for example, for printers, we use them in our printers, in photo printers and cameras, we apply them. So these protocols are, as I said earlier, they are in layered functionality, and they define the workings of the wireless technology. So to just explain, the Bluetooth stack is set up, it has 5 core Bluetooth layers. So the first layer is the physical channel, which is the radio. It's set up from the lowest to the highest. There are the physical channel. One is the link control. The other one is the link manager protocol, LMP, which is the logical link control, and the adaptation protocol, which is L2 CAP, and as well as the service delivery protocol, the SDP. As a case with stack protocol, each level of the protocol, they communicate with each corresponding level of the stack on the target device. So the table summarizes, you're saying, the table is showing you, summarizes the Bluetooth stack layer. At the physical layer, LC, Bluetooth supports both synchronous and asynchronous communication based on the intent of the transmitter. And how does it work? So you're transmitting something, and you could also, you could plan how the Bluetooth could connect asynchronously using sync it, and as well, it also recognizes. That's why in using it in IoT devices, if you notice, if you have the Bluetooth on that is already been synced with your car, for example, once immediately you step into your car, it automatically syncs in. You're not doing that. So that's an asynchronous communication. It also has the ability to synchronize to 2 devices at the same time. So based on the intent of the transition data, so synchronous link is always between a master and a slave, or it's always, that's how it works. So there's one is at a particular time, one is feeding the other. So this physical link, they use circuit switching transmission, and it's primarily used for time-dependent data. The master device is able to also support up to 3 simultaneous links. While an asynchronous link between a master and slave is also known as on a Piconet, something like on a network, on a connection, is also known as asynchronous connectionless link. This physical link uses pattern switching transmission, error control through error detection, and retransmission to guarantee key delivery protocol. And I would just like to explain what each of those layers or how they work. So the radio, it manages the physical radio channel, but you will see it's kind of the radio itself. It's kind of out of this type. It's on its own. So the function is that it manages the physical radio channel. The radio it's just also for managing wireless interface details. This includes the RF band, the spread spectrum frequency, and as well the power usage based on the device power class. The LC is a physical element that manages logical link. This type of link is between a master and a slave. So it acts as a transport for one or more logical links. So when the LPM manages and handles packet addressing, formatting, and timing, the power control within the Piconet in the LC, this is also known as the Bluetooth baseband. The LPM manages logical links between devices. That's what manages the logical links. So it's responsible for connection between devices. This involves link creation and also link management, which include authentication between devices, encryption of communication payloads, and as well the sizing of packet transmission. The LC2 cap manages interface between the Bluetooth stack and the upper level objects. So this is the channel which is based, the channel-based abstraction of the wireless communication technology to the upper level, so which includes profiles and application. It also manages packet assembling, also manages as well as packet segmenting. So it's also that's what we're going to manage the segmenting of the protocol, and also the multiplexing of channels and protocol the multiplexing of across logical links. So it's the L2 cap is like also a core connection of each point. So it's doing a lot of things, linking the upper level to the lower level of the communication. While the SDP manages device details and also it manages details and also available service profile. So that's why this is the aspect of the Bluetooth that manages, recognizes different devices, the profiles, it saves the ID profiles, and make sure to help identify device and provide branding details so that you could also know which device that is being used. Yeah. So the other thing that's also important, one of the stack is the OBEX, which is called the Object Exchange Protocol. It's a transfer protocol commonly associated with IRDA. The IRDA. It allows the transfer of object data between devices. These objects are files commonly associated with Bluetooth device and
Tochi.
things like yes.
Tochi, sorry to disturb you, but I'm not sure whether you are changing these slides or it's the same slide you are speaking.
In the first slide, I'm talking about all the protocols that's listed there, the OBEX, the L2CAP, about the MTP, LMP, I talk about the baseband, which is the LP, I talk about the Bluetooth radio,
Okay, no problem. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll talk about it. So the OBEX manages the VCAPs and sorry. Okay. So I'm trying to round up quickly, and also calendar event, the V calendar. So you just kind of exchange protocol. The Bluetooth also associated with them. So if you have a device, the Bluetooth also uses some of the protocols that is being used with your electronic business cards. So, and the other ones are other protocols like the TCP, UDP, the WAP, which is existing in the other letter protocol. You can see from the diagram because most it also has to use those protocols. So transmitting from your phone, from your wireless devices, your printers, it has to use the TCP, really communication protocol to implement computing network protocol stack, which is mostly network based. Also, the WAP is a series of protocol which defines the mobile device, so bringing internet content to the mobile device. So for WAP, it uses the WAP to do. There's some at the particular era you could share network from your phone using the Bluetooth. So you can do that. So the WAP uses the WAP protocol to do that, to ensure that internet is being shared between devices using the Bluetooth modes. I would like to move forward to the next slide. Can you move to the next slide? Which is the radio frequency identifier. So it is the process of identifying objects within a predefined protocol technology. So it typically is a technology that is similar to barcode identification. It is a non-contact use of radio frequency electromagnetic fields to transfer data for the purpose of automatically identify, tracking. So it uses mostly to identify and also track the user start that is attached to the object. A typical example of usage of a RFD of a RFID is your credit card that you use in the ATM, the POS, and uses the tag, and the tag contains electronically stored information where it's powered and read at short range by magnetic field. So when time is plugged in your RFD within each of the devices, it uses the magnetic field to read the information there, and it's powered by the local source of like batteries and sometimes the devices that you're using them for. Then one also thing it does is that it now acts as a transponder, like a passive transponder, which is it emits microwaves or UHF radio waves. The RF cards are used in different industries. They can be attached to automobile during production. They can be used to track its progress through the assembly line. It can also be used additionally to in pharmaceutical companies to also be track warehouses and warehouse during delivery. They can also be used to track when they reach their destination. We've also seen RFID used in livestock and pets. So you have them injected and it's allowing positive identification of these animals. And it can also be used to save life when they are used on offshore oil and gas platform. The tags are worn by personnel as a safety measure, allowing them to be located 24 hours a day so that they can be quickly found in case when there's emergency. So the RFID chip information is stored and it's a non-volatile memory. So the tag includes a small RF transmission and a receiver. So an reader, an RFID reader transmits an encoded radio signal to interrogate the tag. So the tag receives the message, responds to it with identification, and from then, which may also usually will always be a unique serial number, or it may be even product such as your stock number or something like that, or your name of your card, or specific product information that is being used based on how it is being used. So most IFs can be classified either by type of the tag or by the kind of reader that they are required to use. So either they are a passive reader tag or they are an active reader tag. So that's the two types that are used. So a passive reader tag is a system which receives only radio signal from an active tag. So the reception ranges of that a passive, which we call it PRAX, passive reader active tag, can be adjusted between 1 to 2,000 feet, which allows flexibility for application to use them as asset protection and supervision. Another one is the active reader password, the ARPT system. It's an active reader which transmits or interrogates signals, and it also receives authentication replies. For the first one only, receives signal, but this other one, it transmits and sends on it receives authentication from passive tags. And the variance of them is that all of them are used. They use battery as a kind of energy to power them. So at this point in time, I want to transfer my colleague to the next colleague to talk about the WIBI.
Hello,
Thanks.
Koti. Anusha, we need to stop here because it's almost 9:41.
Yeah,
And
I wanted to ask you, Professor. Yeah, I don't know if it might take at least 10 to 15 minutes. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no problem. This Zigbee things it's interesting, so we can take we are carry forwarding this talk for next class, and then we will be having question answers after rest of 2 presentations from your team. Okay.